I am live once again, and I am still dreaming reality. How's everybody doing? Before I continue, I wanted to share a thought that I shared earlier today on my Facebook page. It goes something like this. Why do I see the future I see? A moment beyond time and space, beyond the physical, beyond the invisible. Well, I ask a question. I think it a simple one. How many times can one keep repeating the 9th grade? Any grade, really, but the same grade. Humanity is the student. The world is the classroom, and the experience is the teacher. So, let's get to the important matters at hand. I'm sheltering in place. It's day 36. Gonna be day 37 here, just around the corner. Here in California. And so yeah, the great unmasking. Sorry if I offended anybody. Clearly, I'm going to talk a little bit about mask. I don't know why mask is one of those things that I don't quite understand. Why there's these two camps. Wearing a mask or don't wear a mask. I mean, the only thing that comes of wearing a mask, as far as health-wise, physical health, is an increase in health. Even if there wasn't this bug that's going around right now, there's plenty of other stuff out there. I hope that's not too loud. It's loud in my ear. Change the music. I hope it'll be okay. I love Liquid Mind. I have a number of their CDs that I've picked up. Don't have this one, so it's nice that I can listen to it. We can listen to it. It's on my list. One day I'll pop in the CD. Mask. I don't know what the big deal is. Let me make sure I'm live here. I surely am. And let me say something. Hi. I just said hi to myself. Let me do something here real quick. I want to see what will happen. Nope. I don't know why. Now I'm sitting here wasting time. I was going to post a link on my Facebook page, but it's given me day 34 for some unknown reason, trying to distract me and get me off topic, because this is the great unmasking. Okay, there. Back here. I'll have to try to figure that out. What's going on there? Been able to do it in the past. So a mask. To wear or not to wear a mask. I don't understand. I mean, if you wear a mask, all you're doing is good, whether there was a bug or not, because there's plenty of other bugs. So you would be preventing that spread. If I don't understand why people look at people who are wearing a mask as like they're puppets. They're being controlled and manipulated. And I'm not saying that we're not, because I think clearly there is something going on at play between the lines. I mean, this is just so bizarre. Every day, every moment, every minute that ticks by is something new, it seems like. But I don't understand why people who wear a mask should be looked at as like they're bad or they're stupid. It's all a choice. It's a choice. Again, anybody who's wearing a mask is not hurting anybody, and the only thing they're doing is helping you out, helping to keep you healthier. If everybody wore a mask, you would be amazed at the decrease in all, or not, I can't say all, but many illnesses that get spread from human to human. It's just something that would come of that act. I'm not saying we all need to do that. I'm just pointing out, as an observer, that's an observation of what comes of such an act. There would be a decrease. That's why we're being told right now, because of this virus, this bug, to wear a mask. Because you could have it. That's what we're told. You could have it and not even know it. That's what we're told. Again, I understand you got this conspiracy group out there, and I'm not saying that I don't have some pretty far out there thoughts. I could switch gears and we could take a path down the yellow brick road. Mask. I don't get it. Maybe it's because I've always been kind of, I guess, paranoid about germs. Always washing my hands, always wanting to disinfect them, sanitize them. Always. I have my little, see if I can get it off here. Not too much effort. There. I have my some hand sanitizer they clip to me. And when I bring my little bag, little mini backpack, I have more in there. Always, before this crisis, I'm not wanting to touch doors, public spaces. That's the kind of person I am. Every time I come home from the grocery store, rinsing everything off. Before all this started, that's just me. It's how I go about my existence. I'm concerned. I don't want to get sick. And I can say that aside from health choices as far as like my diet and things like that, which can always be improved, and I'd feel better, I know I would, I don't get sick very, very often. I don't. And I think it's because of those things that I practice. That I don't really get out much. I'm not out trying to hang out, meet with people, bars and that kind of thing. That helps. This right now has me concerned. If I were to catch it, I don't feel like I would. If what I'm hearing is what's taking place, then I feel like there would be a battle with me and it. And here's another thing I wanted to mention, and maybe I have already, and this has to do with hospitals being empty. That keeps being brought up and to reinforce a thought that this is all a hoax, it's not happening, you're being lied to, it's an act. I can't say whether it is or isn't because I'm not there. I'm in a little fairly small town in California, in the San Joaquin Valley, a breadbasket to the world. A lot of fruits and vegetables are growing all around me. I always think that I'm ready to click that button and start, and there's just always so much in my mind. I know there's got to be the same going on in each and every one of you in your mind. The hospitals. I would think, I'm trying to use some common sense here, okay? That's all. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, but I'm trying to understand that scenario that's being portrayed, that all the hospitals are empty and there's nobody there. And if that were the case, I could understand that because everybody's supposed to be at home for the most part, right? So you're not going to be seeing a waiting room full of people. I mean, they want you to call first of all to say, "Hey, what's up? Is this an emergency?" before you come. And anybody that's admitted, which would be because they probably have the bug, well, they're going to be quickly isolated away from that front entrance door where people could come in or out. So you're not going to see those people. And again, the majority of the people are at home because that's where they've been told to stay. So I feel like that for me makes sense. Again, I can't say that is or isn't because I'm not there. I'm not seeing that here. Today, we just finally, well, not even today, but today it was announced here that next Thursday, by appointment only, there was going to be a place opened up in this city where I live, as announced by the governor, I believe, yesterday. A number of places were going to be opened up that need to be opened for testing. Again, appointment only. So I can already see there'll be people that would go out and videotape this and say, and then go back home, put it up here on YouTube with some kind of a byline to imply that, look, there's nobody here. Well, they don't have an appointment, for one, or didn't have an appointment. So that's how it's going to work here. There's so much going on with this bug. Who knows what's going on? I know the whole China thing just trips me out when I go back to January, and then fairly early on learning that the Chinese had known about this in December. And then everything that's come from that moment since. It just doesn't make any sense in so many ways. The great unmasking. I feel like we're seeing ourselves. All of this, what's happening right now, it's forced us to look in the mirror, so to speak. I wanted to say nobody knew that this was coming, but there's that part of me that I'm open-minded. I'm not quick to close a door without giving adequate look into something that's being stated or expressed. I'm going to switch gears, I think. I may come back. Everything is all so connected. I did put this shirt back on again, so yeah, put it back on. It just goes so well, I think. Gotta love the grays, right? Never seen a gray. Did have one dream where I dreamt of a gray, and that dream stuck with me because the most prominent part that stuck with me was seeing myself in the reflection of its eye. I saw myself, and I remembered in the dreams thinking, I can see myself. That's so amazing, and it just added that much more realism to the experience. They wanted to look at my lungs. That was what in the dream. They wanted to look at my lungs. This was years ago, mid-90s, 93. 92. No, maybe even a little earlier, maybe more like 90. 1990. That was a wild dream. Very, very real. That feeling of being lifelike. But I knew it was a dream. I mean, it had to be a dream. Anyway, I'm starting to get a little distracted there. I want to keep on the great unmasking, but kind of shift also, because I want to talk about ET some. This intelligence, that's my go-to word for this. It's the what's the word? I think that when you look at intelligence, I mean, we all know what intelligence is, and it's a pretty simple baseline for understanding another. And then you go from there. Once you can understand that this is intelligence. And I know that people, they attach the physical experience that we've all been a part of thousands of years, perhaps millions, planet for billions. And it's all been physical. It's all been this physical reality. At least when you're awake. Now when you dream, you lay your head down, drift off, and you dream, then this physical reality is not so finite. It doesn't seem to have any end. It's endless. This intelligence is talking to all of us right now. I'm going to keep saying that. I've been saying that. I feel like this presence, like, keeps nudging me to push that. Why? Because it is true. It is happening. Always has been, always will be. Right now. It's communicating with you. I'm communicating with you. You're aware of it because you're focused on that, but just by tuning into the channel and watching this stream, you become a participant. And I know you're there, and you know I'm here, and there's a sort of interaction that's occurring. There's a conversation and interaction that's happening right now with you, not from me. Well, it is and it isn't. I want to focus on this intelligence, which I'm a part of, you're a part of. That's where my hesitation was just a moment ago in expressing that. This intelligence, which has always been communicating, always here, it does not It does not breathe physical. And it's hard to stop yourself, oneself, from pulling that into the picture, the mental picture that you form in your mind. How is contact going to happen? How? How are they going to come out? Is it a they? Is it just one? Made up of parts, pieces. You, me, him, her, us, and them. So this intelligence is talking with you. And again, gotta look beyond the physical. The conversation is taking place on so many levels. And everything that goes on around you, there's everything you do, there's a reaction that happens. If I go outside, open the door and close the door and step outside, there's a reaction. My field of view, the scenery changes. Things that happen change. That's a reaction. For the most part, most don't pay attention to all the interaction that's going on around them, to what they're thinking in relation to all the things that are going on around you, whether, right down to an acorn dropping from a tree that you hear hit the ground. All those little things like that are like characters in a play, in a movie, this life drama we're in. They're all players interacting with you in this conversation that this intelligence is having with you, all of us, right now. It's reaching out, saying, hi. How are you? Who am I? I am this intelligence is intelligent. It is you, me, her, him, us, and them. Been there, done that. This intelligence knows you. How would you greet another? What would transpire? There would be an expression of hi. How are you? Are you okay? Are you well? You are? Good. Who am I? I am, and you are. Now when you think about that, don't think, I mean you can do whatever you want. But if you can, imagine that beyond the physical. That whole motion, that interaction between you and another in your mind. Think about it. That's how contact will and is coming. I don't see a grand entrance in a White House on the lawn, and I'm very skeptical of UFO footage that in this day and age, because of Photoshop and just computers that are so powerful these days that you can 3D render stuff that's just so lifelike. And then you have governments and agendas. So we're told some can be verified and backed up with FOIA documents. Some of that, it's like, you gotta be kidding me. This is the frame of mind that we were in at one point. And then I see where we're at now, and it's like we clearly haven't stepped very far from that place. The mind control and the manipulation, the power and the control. And then you got these people out there that want to change the world. And I'm talking about the ones with all the money, because those are the ones that can and try their damnedest to implement the changes they see for a new world that clearly doesn't involve a good portion of the people that are on the planet right now. It's just looking that way more and more. There's just too much information out there on the web, on YouTube and web pages. There's a clear calling for the reduction in population. Now, I am not a believer in the world is overpopulated. I think there's a reason each and every one of us is here right now, and it's not to eliminate one another. I believe there's ways to reduce population that do not involve the means by which some out there would concede to. I see the problems of the population upon this world as coming from mismanagement of resources. There's plenty here. It's the way the resources are used and wasted. So much is wasted. It's unbelievable. So there's a problem there with mismanagement. Okay, as far as resources go, I don't think that these elite or whatever you want to call them, what was I going to say? I try to steer clear of talking about the elite. It's not the resources that I think, which they will say is there's not enough. That's why we think the way we think as far as the the world and the population. I think it's more of misbehaving. There's too many people that are misbehaving for whatever reasons. They got a crappy life. They just can't ever get ahead. Just bad luck. Whatever. And so they react in kind. A person in that state of mind, you're going to react. It's natural. Misbehave. What do you got to lose? This is all very simple. It's why I can't listen to those that will talk about there's too many people and they try to use the resources of the planet as the problem. Because that is not true. That's just not true. Now, I'm not here pushing an explosion of population. I think we need to behave. I think we need to control ourselves in a lot of areas. It's complicated. We can talk for days about this. Money is it's not gonna ever fix anything. All it does is lead you deeper and deeper into debt. Unless you're one of the few, the elite, that even though there's money flowing in the world, you are outside of that system because you have so much of the money. It's like you don't even have money anymore. Not really. I mean, 90-something plus percent of all the money, if you could put all the money on one single pie plate and cut it up, divvy it up, and it's all the money, all the worth currently in this world right now. A sliver of that pie, just a little sliver, tiny ass sliver, would represent all the money combined from you and me and all the common people. All of them. Even people that have money, millionaires, they would be counted into that little single wedge of the pie. And then a very, very few are holding the remainder of that pie. Like I said, it's like they don't, money, that doesn't mean anything to them. How could it ever mean anything to them? What could you ever do as far as money is concerned to turn the tide? It's impossible. Not with money. I love when I hear and I know it's not some made up story. I guess I laugh because I see it as wasted time. And this has to do with these secret people and the elite, the Illuminati, whoever, whatever, who I'm talking about. See, I'm like, maybe I should Just be quiet. I'm not trying to upset anybody. I'm just trying to be real, share what I feel could be a very real possibility, trying to understand and make sense of everything that's going on in the world right now. I'm very aware that there are these people that want to see the numbers of people reduced. I mean, they write books, they put up what the Georgia Guidestones, on and on and on. So it's not like some big secret. The only thing I don't understand is how the rest of us, which is, even though people-wise we make up 90+% of an idea, we don't stand up and voice ourselves together and call these people out onto the stage where a big light is shining on them, and cameras and microphones, so everybody can hear them, see them, and know them as they explain themselves. I think it's funny because they have all these ceremonies. I was, what is that place? I think it's here in California or somewhere up north on the West Coast. The place where all the elites and politicians go, and there's the big giant owl. Is it a big giant owl? And they do. I can't believe I've totally drawn a blank on the name of that place. They do ceremonies, and they believe in the evil. Because I'm not focusing on the evil. I think to do that, you give the evil power, if you want to look at it that way. It's like I shared last night in my stream that I don't like the whole war thing, like with E.T., there's those people out there that talk about the government, there's these space programs, and there's different alien races, and there's a war going on out there even with them. And I'm like, I had enough. I've had enough of that reality. I've been a part of it here, right along with all of you, for all of our history. And I've lived in an age where we can imagine and recreate endless scenarios of how that war can be. It just seems never ending. And I'm tired of it. And so when I think of E.T., this intelligence, I'm thinking, no, there's no war. I don't ever get that impression when I feel connected and close. I feel like it's a never-ending peace, love. Never in demand, but always in surplus. And I think they're very, very picky, or whatever, is very, very picky about who steps through the door or crosses the bridge. Very, very picky. And it can't be 90+% or the other. It has to be 100%. That's the only thing that allows a thing admittance. That just makes sense. It's not something that I'm going to argue in my mind over. That's not fair. No, it's perfectly fair and makes the most sense. What boggles my mind is a mind that would question that. And that's exactly why that mind would not cross the bridge. Not until they're ready. Because on the other side of the bridge, there is a oneness. Everything is one. There's no chaos. There's no division. I shouldn't say there's no chaos. I should express that differently. There's always chaos. But there's always order. And they coexist like a left hand and a right hand. And they figured it out, how to get along. Am I still alive? Yes. Ooh, 45 minutes. Well, let me kind of come down some. Everybody, I hope you're all doing good. I see great things coming. I don't necessarily see the things that, say, government has in store or planning. I mean, I'm a realist, and when I look at what's going on and see the news, when I do tune in and watch from time to time, I could totally sense that there's a shock in everybody. Like, they don't know what to do, really, because this has never happened. It's all a gamble in some ways. I'm looking beyond that picture that is being painted that involves the money, I think. Because we're here now and this is already happening, and I'm thinking that this is the time for us to put our heads together and re-examine everything, how we go about our business. I think if we want to grow and we want to become enlightened, this is one of those moments where there's an opportunity being given and should be taken advantage of. I know I am, and the more that I open up to it, the more connected I feel to it. This intelligence, can't tell you enough. It's talking to you right now, and it's coming. I mean, I keep saying it's here. It's always been here, and when I say it's coming, I mean that whatever it is that prevents us from acknowledging, seeing it, so to speak, as being there, a veil, a curtain, that is being removed. It's being pulled back more and more. I know we're anxious. A lot of us are anxious. When? Especially those that are very open, very aware. They've been spending years with their mind and their thoughts reaching out, looking, sensing. It's coming. That moment is coming. It makes sense. Why would the things that have been happening happen to just be kind of tossed to the wayside? And there'd be no purpose in that. No purpose in ever having had them happen. They did happen. but only if we notice them. Now, what's that? If a tree falls in the forest and you're not here, does it make a sound? I'll be back tomorrow. More than likely. I've been trying to do these every day. Just keep on talking. Keep on talking. So, with that, I thank you for hanging out with me and sharing a moment in this dream we're all in. And be well and smile.